Manchester City have made a formal and official bid of £90 million for Declan Rice from West Ham. That matches that matches the 90 million that Arsenal bid around 7 days ago. But their structure was 75 million plus 15. So there's an extra 5 million guaranteed, and it's reported that the payment terms are more favorable than Arsenal's. However, Fabrizio Romano reports tonight, following on from the initial breaking news from David Ornstein, that Arsenal will submit a new formal offer themselves in response to this news. We're going to delve into it. We're going to take your calls now live on the Football Terrace. Hit the like button. Make sure you're subscribing. The Declan Rice news is heating up massively. Let's go. This was always tipped to be the saga of the summer, and Man City now made that official bid. It's been about a week. It's been about a week, maybe 5 days, 6 days since it was formally announced that Manchester City were entering this race, and there's been a lot of questions posed as to why have they not made a formal and official bid to bring Declan Rice in. Of course, over the weekend, the ex-West Ham employee revealed that the preference of Declan Rice is still to join Arsenal, but of course, he's open to the move to Man City, and why would he not be? This has been now quoted by the majority of the credible journalists, the in the knows and the content creators, about which team gets the deal done. Arsenal are leading the race. Arsenal were expected to win the race if they both get a bid accepted. But at this moment in time, the best offer thus made so far has come from Man City. There's no signs as to whether West Ham will accept this. It's the same monetary sum that Arsenal offered in totality at 90 million. However, the structure is different. There's 80 million rather than 75 million guaranteed. And it's reported that City will make the payments over in two. So it'll be 40 million and 40 million is what we're led to believe. Where Arsenal were looking to spread those costs over a considerably longer period of time, meaning that year one, West Ham may only pick up 15 to 20 million pounds. The structure of this deal is very, very key indeed. So the personal terms element are almost inconsequential at this moment in time. We know where the preference is, but we also know that staying in London is a bit of a myth. Not wanting to go to anybody else but Arsenal is completely untrue. It's about which clubs get the deal done first. Now, I think why has Fabrizio not reported this thing you swing, Terry? Fabrizio has definitely reported on this, as in he's tweeted a few moments ago. I understand that Arsenal will respond to Man City's official bid and offer. Arsenal will bid again after two proposals were rejected. They will not be giving up at this stage. Both City and Arsenal had plans to bid this week. We already knew that. So I'm a little unsure of your personal response there, but he definitely has reported on it. David Ornstein dropped the bomb. It was the dagger from Ornstein that most Arsenal fans didn't want to see. I know there was a feeling of, what they really wanted was the player had decided to join Arsenal and Man City are pulling away, but that isn't the case. And I've seen a lot of people kind of twisting the words of the ex-West Ham employee in recent days to he only wants Arsenal. No, he prefers Arsenal. Prefers doesn't mean, I prefer salt and vinegar Pringles to sour cream and chive. But I like sour cream and chive, and they don't have salt and vinegar Pringles, I'll buy another flavor. At the end of the day, nowhere is reported cast iron it will be Arsenal. Loves the idea of playing for Arsenal, Declan Rice. Would love to join Arsenal, Declan Rice. If both clubs get bids accepted, then we'll truly get the answer. But as Ben Jacobs reported earlier on today, Fabrizio has reported, the ex-West Ham employee has reported, when you read between the lines and put it to totality and read a conclusion, which team wins the race to get the deal accepted first with West Ham is where this is at as of right now. So it's a very interesting stage. It's a pivotal stage. It's on a knife edge. And I'm not going to lie to you. This is why I love the transfer window. This is amazing to me. As far as a sales process is concerned, this is a thing of beauty. I'm just in my feelings, Terry. Sorry. No, I get that. I get that, my friend. Very relaxed, Terry. Not panicking at all. I'm actually happy. They've tabled their first bid and showed their hand. I expected 100 million retaliation tomorrow. My brain weren't picking up that word then. And that's what Arsenal need to do. And maybe Arsenal are waiting for the. And this is what you got to remember: if the reports are true that Declan Rice prefers Arsenal to City, then maybe the reason you. And again, these things only come to light with hindsight. Maybe the reason Arsenal have not bid between the news breaking that City were interested in now is you were waiting for them to, as you just said, show their hand. Imagine you came out and bid 108, making a number up here. You bid 108 and City go, it's too steep and walk away. Maybe 95 million would have been enough. Now, that 13 million to some people seems inconsequential, but at this level of business, 13 million pounds is a lot of money. That is literally 2 contract renewals for players that improve next year covered. So you don't show your hand too early. That's if the news that he prefers Arsenal to City is true. If he changes his mind and the bids come in, then it can be a problem. But that's why this game is so beautiful. That's why this game is so difficult to judge. Let's take some more of your comments that are coming here. I want some decent ones, not just weird drivel. He's coming to Arsenal, guys. Let's be patient here and let's play and let this play out. If we can meet what City offers, it's simple, all going down to how much Arsenal want him. That is it. It's from Lucas James. I think there's a lot of truth in what you said there around it comes down to how much Arsenal want him. That's if the reports are to believe that he prefers Arsenal. Khalid here says Declan Rice coming to Arsenal. How you doing, Wilson? I hope you're well, my friend. Hope you're taking care of yourself and you're healthy and you're well and you're prospering. I do. Everything's in Arsenal's hands. Walk away or break the record. Yeah, listen, I would probably never have guessed 2 years ago if you were telling me that Arsenal were in a race to sign one of the best midfielders in the world and break the record for British transfers. I'd have said no chance. The fact they're in the race to do that now, going head to head with one of the best teams that England's ever seen, it just shows the growth of this side. But this deal, this signing, I think is very, very important indeed. I really, really do. This comes from AFTV. Just I can't read that word, but there we go. It says if Man City make another second or third bid, Arsenal will be blown out of the water. But is that Barella? Barella, I think you mean to write. Barella and Caicedo will be good alternatives, if not both. You may potentially be blown out of the water. That could happen. There's no doubt about it. Maybe City do have more money than Arsenal. There's no doubt about that. So we will see. And look, I think if Arsenal get blown out of the water and a bid comes in that you just can't match, it goes to 120, 130, 140, and you just can't afford to do it because it eats into other targets. I don't think there's no shame in that. There is no shame in that, in my view. Maybe you guys have got a difference of opinion. You can explain to me why there is. If you just get out muscle with somebody with more money than you, I don't see the embarrassment in that. But if you both bid the same amount and their bid it gets accepted and yours doesn't, then it's about terms, and you just think to yourself, you missed out on technicalities. That would be a lot more frustrating for me. But that's only my take. I want to get your take on this. People, wouldn't this bid get rejected as well because it's still not 100 million? Well, the structure is key. Listen to what Ben Jacobs said this morning on the Done Deal show. Structure is key. It all depends how much cash they're getting up front, how quickly they'll get the guarantee of 80 million. Of course, what are made up within the add-ons? How achievable are the add-ons? How easy is it for them to get them? So I've got to turn my fan on in my room because in my office because it is boiling in here. So it all depends on how easy the add-ons are to get, how quickly they get their money. I read an article a few days ago that stated that City's offer will give them their money in 2 installments over a 2-year period. So in this case, it could be 60 and 20, it could be 40 and 40, whatever it may be, but more money up front. So structure is always key when it comes to these deals. Journalists have only really started reporting on the structure of deals in the past 12, 18 months, 2 years. Go back and watch my videos from 2017. I've been talking about them for time. They're so key. Do you think Arsenal waited for City's bid? I think that's a very good piece. I mean, I never thought about that until today, until somebody put it in these comment sections. And that's, a few streams ago, I was talking about how the problem is when you predict transfers or criticize transfers is there's a million and one outcomes. The other day when City were linked, a lot of Arsenal fans were saying we should have just bid 100 million straight away and got it done. Only for City fans that I follow to go, yeah, Terry, but then we would have just matched their bid anyway. We the fact that it was delayed, our bid was delayed, was inconsequential because if Arsenal moved quicker and got nearer to that acceptance mark, we would have moved quicker. So you would have been in the same situation. And I just thought that's a very good rebuttal. And we'll never really know. And that's why hindsight is very lucrative. But you may very well have done that, my friend. You may very well have done that. Ibi here says most will go is 100 to 105. If City pay more, fair enough. No shame in that, in my opinion. I'm just not ready for the overreaction if we don't get him. Well, there'll be a negative reaction from a lot of gooners, there's no doubt, and I understand that deeply. It all comes down to the response. And Brandon, I can see you backstage, my friend. With a little surprise for us all as well, which I think most of the viewers are like. So I feel like there will be a bad backlash, but what it's more about is who then do Arsenal go and get? Who then do Arsenal go and get? Who do they go and sign? What's the reaction? They go out and sign a Barella, and maybe nobody will mind as much. They go out and sign a Caicedo. There might be a lot of Arsenal fans that are happier with that. Right now, I know Gooners are happier to have Trossard than they are Mahala Mudryk. So I get there'll be a reaction from fans, but the reaction from Arsenal would be far more key to me if I was a Gooner. I'm not, though. So it's down to you. Dan, one of our members, says, I expect Arsenal to bid 90 plus 15. Hopefully a better structure than both clubs are happy with and get it done. Yeah, and that may be it. Maybe you do. Maybe you offer 90 plus 15. You guarantee in 3 years, but you do the first payment of 45 million. Maybe the add-ons are easier to achieve. Maybe City give them 10 million pounds after 100 appearances and 10 goals, and you say, right, we'll give you another 15 million after 55, 60 appearances and 8 goals, whatever it is. I'm just kind of spitballing here. That's what you're gonna have to go and do, and then it's about how good your intermediaries are and the agents are at getting you that information. Barella to Arsenal is what Gav says here. We're going to take a call from Brandon. He's going to come on and have a say with us right now. Viewers, if you want to call in, I am going to share the link in the live comments section. If you want to put your face on screen, you want to come and have a little chat, give us your views, give us your thoughts. I want to know what you think as well, not just what you feel, but I want to know what you think. I got told recently to stop asking men what they feel because they don't like that. They say, ask them what they think because men don't feel, they think. I thought, oh, okay, fair enough. Just a little bit of feedback from someone I trust. I was like, okay, I'll try that. So come on and tell us what you think about this potential deal. Brandon joining us now. Let's do this. Cheers. I aftered it right. I aftered it wrong. I had to change scenes. There we go. How you doing, mate? You good?
Yeah, not bad, mate. How are you?
Yeah, not too bad at all. I literally got through the evening. I had a video to release. I thought I'm going to wait to see if there's any breaking news because the last 2 Mondays had been breaking news. Nothing happened. I released a video. 2.5 minutes later, Ornstein tweets. I couldn't believe it. So that video will get re-released tomorrow again now. But apart from that, I'm all good. And who's this little person with us? Who's this little person you got there?
This is the new addition to the family. He was born on Saturday.
Ah.
So, yeah, another Gooner, hopefully. But you know how it goes, when you're a child, you kind of grow up supporting the team that are winning at the time. So he might be a Man City fan. You never know.
Well, he's in Sky Blue already. He's in Sky Blue already.
Yeah.
What's the name of the little bubba?
Brody.
Brody. As in like Officer Brody from Jaws.
Yeah.
I only watched that 2 days ago. It's in my head. There we go. That's nice. Like it. Well, congratulations, mate. Very, very happy for you and your lady wife. Are you married or just together?
Yeah, I'm married. Yeah.
Married.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Mate, honestly, to look at you, you wouldn't have thought you only left school about 2 years ago. Love it, mate. Love it. Reactions to this tonight, mate. Reactions to the official bid going in. Fabrizio confirming that you will respond. Talk to me.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not worried yet. Let's put it that way. I've always maintained the view that I am slightly worried if Manchester City come in. I am slightly worried about Arsenal actually stumping up the money and getting a bid accepted was the main thing for me. You know, when you look at our first two bids and the way that we structured them, it was clearly never ever going to be accepted, you know, because West Ham have made it very clear that they want as much money up front as possible. And the way we structured our first two deals were kind of like a bit of a joke. What I would say is everybody that's been talking about, you know, Declan Rice prefers Arsenal, Declan Rice only wants Arsenal. Manchester City wouldn't have bid if they didn't think that they could convince the player otherwise. And made an official bid like they have done. So clearly there's a feeling there that Manchester City can convince Declan Rice to join them over us. And I don't see really why he wouldn't. You know, you go to Manchester City, you guarantee trophies at this moment in time. You could even look at the fact that you know they've just lost Gundogan to Barcelona, a key part of their team when you look at the leadership factor. And Declan Rice can offer that to them.
Yeah, that noise, bro. That noise is banging. The only newborns make that noise. Love it.
And yeah, Declan Rice can offer that to them. I think all these, you know, people that are saying that, you know, if he was to go to Manchester City, he'd have a fight on his hands to get in their team. I don't think that's the case. I think, you know, if they're going to spend that sort of money on Declan Rice, he comes in to start. And now that Gundogan has left, I see a starting position for him at Manchester City. And, you know, a lot of people are saying, yeah, but he only wants to stay in London. Well, Manchester's not that far from London. It's not like he's got up and leave and get used to a new culture in a new country or anything like that.
I think you're right in that. It's been debunked that it's only London. I think only England is true, but he doesn't want to only stay in London. His preference is London. He doesn't only want to join Arsenal. His preference is Arsenal. Preference doesn't, as I said earlier, my favorite flavor of Pringles is salt and vinegar. But if the shop doesn't have them, I don't mind barbecue. I don't mind cheese and onion. I don't even mind a bit of prawn cocktail if they've got them on the shelves. They're rarities, the prawn cocktail ones, but they do exist. I'll buy them either. I like Pringles in general. So Declan Rice will join Man City if their bid is accepted. There is no doubt about that because very rarely do clubs bid for a player they know is going to reject them on personal terms, which is why even when we go back to last season and the Frankie de Jong scenario, no way did he want to join you. I still believe in my heart of hearts he was happy to join Man United if Barcelona paid him off 17 million quid because we bid 2 or 3 times, and I just don't believe our manager would have sanctioned that bid if there wasn't the possibility of him joining. In my view, there's too many credible journalists and transfer experts and agents and whoever else have spoke about this now so openly for 5, 6, 7 years across social media about how the transfer process works. For fans to still ignore that general process is weird to me. The last time I saw a big club and a big signing where a bid went in before personal terms were verbally agreed was Arsenal with Vlahovic. It's the last time I've ever seen it. And yeah, look, it's going to be an intriguing one. Do you think that you'll be able to out muscle City from this point?
Yeah, see, this is where I'm not too sure, to be honest with you, because the way you structure a bid, I mean, you could say that Manchester City have more cards in their hands than Arsenal because, you know, we kind of have to offer more money up front, possibly, than what Manchester City do. Because the thing about that, you know, the add-ons and stuff like that is, you know, I could pretty much guarantee that Manchester City's bid tonight with the £10 million in add-ons, you know, the add-ons probably was, you know, you get £10 million if we win the Premier League, if we win the Champions League, if we win this or whatever it may be. And like I said, Manchester City can almost guarantee them add-ons, you know, because they're winning the trophies at a ridiculous level at the moment. Whereas as Arsenal, You know, we haven't won a trophy in 3 years. We haven't won a Premier League title in 19 years. We haven't won a Champions League since it's been called the Champions League. So when it comes to add-ons, we have to be careful on how we structure the way that we do the deal. So regardless of whether we match their bid or not, or outbid Manchester City, I think the only way we do that is by outbidding Manchester City. And I would hope the football club would do that, because I see Declan Rice as a very important part to where we need to go now as a football club, especially if we're looking to move on both Granit Xhaka and Thomas Partey. So I see it as we can get this deal done still. I do think we need to kind of, just go out there and throw whatever money at it we need to throw at it, because I don't really see any alternatives, to be honest with you, Tel. I mean, people will say about Caicedo, but Caicedo and Declan Rice are completely different players, I think, in the way that they play. Caicedo's more of a destroyer, whereas as Declan Rice, I think he could be more progressive with the ball. And, he offers us the leadership element to the team as well, which I really think, we lacked towards the back end of the season last season. So, yeah, I hope the football club do get it done and prove us wrong.
I hear you, mate. I really do. Look, I'm gonna let you get off with the little bubby and do what you got to do. It's feeding every brand newborns are probably sleeping through maybe a little bit, but every 2 or 3 hours coming soon, we got to wake up and feed. So I'm glad that those days are done for me. I am. Listen, congratulations, mate, on baby Brody, and we'll chat again soon. Top man.
Cheers, bro.
Cheers, mate. Take care. Bye bye. Top man. Patrick's joining us now. Man City fan. What you saying, Patty? What you saying, Patty boy?
Terry, I don't like. I've never had issues with Arsenal fans, nor have I had issues with Arsenal themselves. But in 2023, they've become the most insufferable fan base I've ever seen. I used to think United fans were bad, but I have experienced bad with Arsenal fans. Look, at the end of the day, I thought it was a bluff. I thought City were being used in the media throughout the week. I think I tweeted a few times. I said I don't be surprised if West Ham are playing around. And I think somebody said the owner of West Ham is very good in the media. He knows the media. I thought he's putting out a few things just to get the bidding up. But what I was shocked with is some of the most reliable people from Arsenal, David, who is reliable for Arsenal, and somebody who's reliable for City, kept on saying every time they say Arsenal bid for Rice, at the bottom they were saying City are waiting for Gundogan to leave, and then they'll discuss and see are they serious with this. And also, not only are they going to bid, they're going to wait and speak to his camp and see if he's actually interested only in Arsenal or he's open to a move if things happen. I think the quietness, people might say, oh, maybe they were waiting to see what to do. I think they were talking to the camp and then they were asking him, do you really want to come and play under Pep? Do you want to come to City? Because City don't bid unless you want to come there, because they don't want somebody who goes there by force. Like what Chelsea do, where they just outbid somebody and buy somebody who never wanted to go to Chelsea. That's not a dig at Chelsea. It's just that's what you guys like doing. But I was so shocked to hear Arsenal fans telling us that all he wants is London, all he wants is Arsenal. To be honest with you, years ago, I could have been accepting that. But in 2023, I'm sorry, you told this to me 30 years ago that when we win the Champions League, it'll be different. I feel different right now. I think I'm going in that room feeling more confident that the guy wants a Champions League winner. So I think he's coming if they accept the bid. And I have just seen somebody break it down. Apparently, yes, it's the same money as Arsenal, but City have played a chess game here. They've gone and studied Arsenal's bid and decided to pay it faster and pay a higher amount first time. I think Arsenal wanted to pay it in 4 installments. And then the add-ons were a few things that if he achieves this, and I think West Ham was like, nah, are you gonna achieve that? So that I'm just happy, man. A lot of City fans are delighted. And to be honest with you, I'm gonna tell you this for free, Terry. Majority of the City fans don't really get excited for Rice. They're not that excited. They're waiting for Vadio from RB Leipzig. That's what everybody's waiting for. But the reason why City fans now are more attentive to this signing is because we're just petty at this point in time, because Arsenal fans have stocked a big one, so we want to just get one over them. If it was me, Terry, I would buy Rice from West Ham and loan him back to West Ham. Just buy.
Look, I hear you. Look, I agree with what you said about Declan Rice will join City 100% if their bid's accepted and Arsenal's
Yeah.
not. I think I trust what the ex-West Ham employee has said. If you
Yeah,
both get bids accepted, I do think his preference is
he's
Arsenal,
good. Yeah,
but he's definitely. I disagree when I've seen him ex-West Ham guy call out these Arsenal aggregators who have over the weekend have said things like he only wants Arsenal, and then quoted him. He said that's not what I said. I said he has a preference of,
mm,
and but we've seen that loads. But I had it with Chelsea fans yesterday where they were like, "See, Terry, there's no chance of you getting Caicedo." I said, "Oh, why?" Fabrizio said he wants Chelsea, and Chelsea only want him. I went, "Yeah." His next line that came out of his mouth were, "But let's see if Man United start to fight for him later on down the window." Which you don't need that explained to you. What it means is right now that's true. If Man United come in serious, it could change. And that's all the other journalists said. They're going to look at it. But I don't know what it is with fans at the minute. People are like twisting what's being said
yeah.
to give themselves the confirmation bias they need. But the problem is you set yourself up for failure.
Do you remember?
This,
Do you remember Cucurella? What did they
yeah,
say about Cucurella? What did they say? They say, "Oh, he wants his Pep and City." What happened?
mate, 110%. Clubs seldom bid for a player that hasn't verbally agreed to join them or wouldn't be happy to join them under certain circumstances. We all know that. We all agree with it until it doesn't serve our purpose. And then we start trying to look for loopholes. But it's going to be very, very interesting to see where he goes. Where do you see him fitting into the Man City system should you land him?
I think you know what John Stones has been doing. I have a feeling that he's looking at Rice and saying he used to play a centre back. Remember, Moyes is the one who turned him into a midfielder.
Yeah.
So I think Rice would do something like that. And when I was thinking for me, I was like, Rice would actually kill that. That's what he's there. He does. Even at West Ham, if you watch him, he drops into the centre back pairing sometimes, and then he goes into midfield. But I think he'll be used a lot. I think Pep apparently wants, according to the rumors, it's not Kovacic who steps into Gundo's shoes. I'm surprised by that. They say he wants Rice for that. I think he's capable. To be honest with you, I think he's going to take the role of Stones, and Stones goes back into the back three because we miss Stones with the build-up sometimes. And if you have a back line of Stones, Diaz, and let's say Vadio comes in, I think that's a good back line. So we'll see. That's what I think is going to fit in. But if Pep decides to make him a Gundogan signing, I will be amazed, but I think he's capable of doing it. But to be honest with you, Terry, if I was sitting down and being an honest football fan, if we take this from Arsenal, there's a bit of, as I said, a bit of pettiness. Arsenal actually deserve to have Declan Rice more than we do. Let's be honest. They would use him more than we do. But the
It's
game
almost
is the game.
it's almost I hear what you're saying. It's almost like you're saying it's an embarrassment of riches almost to have him as well. But I understand it. As you said, the game is the game. What you said about him taking the Gundogan role, though, I remember doing a show with Dean Jones maybe 2 years ago, and we were talking about Declan Rice. And he said that when he spoke to Declan Rice's people in camp, there is a genuine belief and desire in the player to play further up the pitch. He believes he can do it. He believes he can be effective. Kind of knows with West Ham and England with their current managers that was hard to do.
Yeah.
So the fact that that's been discussed before, maybe that's what Pep sees in him. Maybe Pep looks at him and thinks, I think I can get that out of you. I mean, the fact that the best left back in the league this season was Ake, nobody would have predicted that. That's Pep Guardiola. So if he can do that with Ake, I'm pretty I'm pretty sure he can turn Declan Rice into an even better midfielder. But Patty, thanks for calling in, bro. Really
Appreciate
appreciate
it,
it.
man. Loving the show.
Cheers,
Right.
brother. We'll chat again soon. Top man. Thank you. We're gonna go. I don't know how to do this quickly because it doesn't do it in one button. But if I press this and then press that, there we go. That's how you do it. We'll bring some more callers on in a few moments to have their say on the show. I want to go to some of these super chats. First one says, "Do you agree that it was wise for us to wait for City's bid before going with the third? It gives a good idea of what the next bid is. Thoughts, good or bad? Can go one or two ways. You could better City's bid, get yours accepted, theirs rejected, and get Declan Rice. Their bid might be more than what you're willing to offer at all. And if you'd have got yours accepted first, maybe it would be done. It's all about the final outcome, really. I think there's merit and negativity to either side of that argument, to be honest with you. And I know that sounds like I'm sitting on the fence, but we won't know. The proof is in the pudding. I understand why you would wait. You know, there's a few Man United fans I listen to that are, when I say credible, I mean they don't talk a lot of nonsense. They're quite level-headed, credible. who think that Man United are holding back from putting bids in for some of the players that other clubs are linked with because we don't want Man United tax to be applied. We've seen what happens when we want to get Højlund. He goes from being a £30 million rated player for other clubs to an £80 million player because Man United want him. So maybe there's a train of thought in that. Arsenal holding back. Sometimes if you bid too quickly, you look a little desperate. If you start looking desperate, people will push you harder. So there's so many if buts and maybes, but I'm not gonna lie, that's what makes it exciting, right? As long as we can agree a deal with West Ham, Rice will go to Arsenal, in my opinion. That is there from James Adam. Thank you, James. Evening, Arsenal fans, thinking Manchester like another part, like it's another part of the world. 4-hour drive or an hour on a private jet. Yeah, look, I think he'd like to stay in London, but it doesn't mean you won't live in Manchester. Be honest with you guys, and I'm loving the super chats. I don't think it's a difficult thought process to understand, to comprehend, to get on board with. It's, as you say, for wealthy people, it's a couple of hours away. Probably private jet, maybe, but just, get chauffeur driven to the train station, express Virgin train in first class, 2 hours you're in London. You picked up at the train station by another chauffeur-driven car and driven to where you want to go. Like, it's not that long. It takes longer to drive across London. I've been on a tube from one side of London to the other, and it's taken longer than it does to get a train from Manchester down. I mean, man ain't gonna be bowling around on the tube either. It's just gonna get picked up. So yeah, it's not that deep, really, for me. This is from Langham Sweet, long-standing member of the Football Terrace and Super Chat, a City fan as well. He says Rice overrated Phillips. Rice doesn't start over Rodri and Kovacic. Just waste of money for English hype man. Let's just spend the money on Guardiola. Bro, you got 390 million pound in prize money. You can buy both. Why would you not? Not even if part of the motivation from City is just to ensure that Arsenal are not as strong next year, it makes sense to do it, in my opinion. I also think Rice is very good as well. He's not overrated. Do you think Declan Rice is a decoy to a player Arsenal are really in for? Like no. You don't do this as a decoy, my bro. This is like, people do smoke screen. Smoke screens may be like you might release a story that's a smoke screen. Like Chelsea released a story that Bayern were currently starting their interest again in Mount. That's a bit of a smoke screen, a bit of a red herring. What Arsenal are doing is no smoke screen, my friend. Mudryk was in the news link for weeks and Trossard came in. Yeah, but that's because Chelsea outbid you, my bro. I mean this with all due respect because you've super chatted and it's your money, and I really appreciate the donations, keep the terrace going. But as we'd say where I'm from, nah, bruv. We'd say, nah, bruv. That's not it at all. That's not it at all, my G. It's definitely not a decoy, in my humble opinion. This is confirmation. Rice wants City, big trouble. But damn, we already had that confirmation. Just in what was said by the ex-West Ham employee the other day. Preference, not only wants. The detail was already there for everybody to see, understand, and ascertain, in my personal humble opinion. This is Terry. You're an absolute gem, even if you're a Man United fan. Thanks, Harry. I appreciate you saying so, mate. Thank you very, very much. It means a great deal to me. I'm humbled by every super chat and every comment, every member. In fact, every viewer really that tunes in. Going to take a call here. We've got Steve to come on. Then we've got Alan to come on the show with us as well. Make sure like buttons are being smashed, please, my people. Get that done for us right about now. I'm going to try and get this done quick. Get a few clicks. I'm going to go 1, 2, and then 3. Steve's here. How you doing, mate? You all right?
Hey, man. Yeah, I'm good. Thanks for having me on. How you doing?
Yeah, not too bad, my friend. Not too bad at all. Give me your reaction to this news tonight. City's official bid has gone in. Arsenal were going to follow up and make a third bid from themselves, a third formal bid. How do you see this playing out?
I see it playing out like he's going to end up at either one of them too. I don't really know. It's kind of Captain Obvious, but I don't know where he ends up because I get it. Players want to be some players are family oriented. Some players don't have families, so obviously they aren't. But I don't know. I see him I see him going to Man City. I see him going to Man City because I think the add-ons are so achievable at Man City in terms of winning Premier League, Champions League, etc. I don't know. I think I mean, obviously he slots straight in at Arsenal, but I think he slots straight in right at Man City too, because he can do what John Stones does.
Yeah, I agree. I wanted to ask you, do you think Arsenal have been foolish? A lot of people suggesting they've been foolish in not getting this deal done sooner. There's lower ball bids. What's your take on that, Steve?
I don't know if they. I really don't, honestly. It's like I'm having a bit of a brain fart here. I don't know why they're lowballing when there's clearly an asking price from West Ham. Like in terms of, oh, well, we want 100 million. Well, let's bid 80 and then the add-ons. It's like, how about they just go and pay the price? Like if Arsenal really, really want him, why don't they just go out and pay the price right away? Because they did it with Havertz. I mean, it's not a done deal yet for Kai Havertz, really. But I don't know why they just like what is the bigger priority for them, Havertz or Rice? For me, if I was Edu, it would be Rice because they need a defensive midfielder in there if Thomas Partey is leaving.
Well, there is that train of thought of why spend 65 on Kai Havertz, keep Partey, take that 65 million that you're spending on Havertz, put that into the Rice deal to make sure it's done, and then you've got enough remaining for a Lavia. Then with Declan Rice, Lavia, and Partey as your middle, that is strong. I'm seeing a lot of people say that in the comments. A lot of people have DM'd me saying, "What do you think of this, Terry?" So I totally get where you're coming from. But if you were to put a bet on now, if you were a betting man right now, and you had to put your money on him going to City or going to Arsenal, what one would you put your money on, Steve?
I'm saying Man City. I'm saying Man City because, like you said, it's not actually if you are super, super rich, it's not actually that hard. It's not like the United States where we've got Miami to New York, like where it's 1,000-mile distance. No. How far is London to Manchester? Not that far, really, in the grand scheme of things, if you have a private jet or a plane or whatever. So I think he goes Man City. Yeah, he might not play necessarily as much as he would for Arsenal. I think for Arsenal, he plays what? He is the starter there, even in the Champions League, Premier League. I think he goes to Man City, though. I think he does go to Man City. But we'll see. We'll see. I would recommend he goes to Man City if he wants to win things. If he wants to kind of take the hero route, like, oh, get Arsenal their first Premier League in 20-odd years, I get that. But if you want silverware established,
I hear you.
I will go Man City.
Steve, listen, my friend, thanks for coming on and having your say. I appreciate it, buddy. We'll chat again soon. Top man, thank you. Thank you. Alan's with us now. Alan is a Arsenal fan. How's it going, bro?
Good. How are you doing, man?
Yeah, I'm well. What's your reaction to this breaking news tonight from a Gooner's perspective?
It's mixed because I did expect them to bid eventually, since it was widely reported that they would. But I'm kind of glad that they are also under the valuation. I think I just saw that their bid has already been rejected. And it kind of like the comment said, they showed their hand. So now Arsenal, since we've been preparing this bid, we can kind of one up that. So in that aspect, I'm kind of glad about it. But in terms of this deal, I see a lot of people like compare it to the Mudryk deal, and I think it's kind of similar, but not fully, because I was pessimistic about the Mudryk deal because of Chelsea, because I knew if they outbid us, it was basically over, because Mudryk. But the difference between that deal and this one is, first off, Mudryk was like, he was a player we wanted, but Declan Rice is like a need. Like, we've been working on this for so long. So if we have to kind of go over evaluation, I believe we're going to. And also, in this situation, I think West Ham would want to respect Declan Rice's wishes, and I know he is open to going to City, but he would prefer to stay in London, and his preference is Arsenal. So in that aspect, I think if we make a suitable bid, I think they will accept our bid, even if City bid like maybe 5 to 7 million extra or have like a little bit better terms. I think they will kind of, respect his wishes and accept our bid still. So the only real like big worry I have is if they blow our bid out of the water, and then at that point it's kind of up to us to see if we want to match that. But otherwise, I think we still have a very good chance of getting him.
Absolutely. Listen, Alan, I really appreciate your comments. Really appreciate your views and opinions on that, my friend. And we'll chat again soon. Make sure you call in again, my friend. Very good call. Very, very good call indeed.
Thank you. All right.
Top man. Cheers, Alan. Thank you very much indeed. And I am going to say this, people. There is some breaking news. The breaking news is Manchester United are expected to turn the Declan Rice transfer story into a 3-way bidding war. That has been confirmed by Claret and Hugh via the West Ham Central that Manchester United will enter the race for Declan Rice as well. That has been something that's been spoke about recently, but now it's being reported that Manchester United are going to enter the race for Declan Rice, or what you call it, Declan Race. That is it now. Declan Race is what we're talking about. There's no doubt about it. This is the saga of the summer so far. Maybe there could be a lot more going on, but my word, what a turnout. But listen, I've been talking about Man United getting involved for a few days now, not because I know anything more than anybody else, but simply and utterly because it felt kind of obvious that something else was going on, that Man United were going to get involved. Too many credible sources talking about it. Man United have wanted him. And listen, we may not get him. I'm not confident Man United will get him over Arsenal or Manchester City. I'm not, and I never have been. However, I will say this, and I'll defend my football club here. We're prestigious. We've got a brilliant manager. We are on our way to getting new owners. Mason Mount is highly likely to come to the club. All these are factors that could help us. But at the very least, this is the last time Declan Rice moves clubs in England between big clubs if he's successful. He doesn't move again in his peak. If you're not in for him now, it's almost a case of forever hold your peace as far as I'm concerned. You have to go in for him now. And, Man United have got a chance. We had a West Ham fan on the show earlier on today, and I said, look, if we offered you 70 million plus McTominay and Maguire, would you take it? And he said, yes, in a heartbeat. Players that would work under Moyes, players that would fit into our club, say just going into the market. There are ways for Man United to do it. And plus, listen, I've had a feeling for a long time now, been holding this feeling deep down inside my loins that I think we got more money than people think we got. I do. I think we've got far more money than people think we've got. I think we're playing it down. However, like I've said before, and I'll say again and again and again and again and again, Arsenal have been reportedly leading this race the whole time. I haven't changed my mind on that yet. City have got an amazing chance of getting him. Man United are the outsiders, but clubs don't bid unless the players would join them. So all three could have personal terms verbally agreed to or okayed or seen as right. It may just come down to which club gets the bid accepted. If all three get bids accepted, then he has to choose which of the personal terms he's verbally agreed with. This transfer is heating up massively. Super chat here says, if City knock, Arsenal have a chance. Once he arrives at the carpet, nobody moved the goalpost. This window has shown me people's levels of financial literacy with all this low balling talk ignorance. Well, we will see, my friend. A bit strange that X doesn't know about the bid. But X spoke about this in detail earlier on today. He said that these bids were on their way. He said they were coming. He spoke about it in great detail. Go and read it, my friend. Go and read it, my friend. He's just not someone who pretends. Got to remember, X isn't trying to be a transfer guru and be first. It's not really what his motivation is. There's a lot of journalists out there that don't care about being. I spoke to a journalist a little while ago saying, why don't you like do more tweets and do this? He's like, I've got no interest in being famous for transfers. He says, this is what I do. Transfers are like a small part of my job in the summer. He says, the rest of the year, I'm a sports writer. That's all I do. And I'm like, all right, fair enough. Do you know what I mean? You got to remember, not everyone's in it for the same reasons, my bro. KJ's coming on the show now. I assume so. He's turned his camera on. He had his shirt off a minute ago, and I wonder what was going on. He's obviously putting on his dressing gown, ready to go. We're gonna get him out now. I need to change this to this to this, and then KJ comes in. There we go. Boom, bro. What a night! What a night it's been. I thought I was gonna get 3 Monday nights running. Now this has happened. 3 Monday nights running. There's been big breaking news.
Listen. What a saga. What a saga. You know what, yeah? Being the team with the outside chance of getting the deal done feels so much nicer than all the sagas Man United have been in the last how many seasons, bro. Like, knowing that there's probably like a 5% chance we'll get him, I can just look in the wings and be like, yo, at least my team is trying. And we'll probably get beaten out by 2 better teams right now, 2 teams with better structures right now. But at least Man United are trying to go out there and trying to improve one of the problem areas, which is the midfield. Everyone knew that there's a hole there. And yeah, we move. And you know what, Terry? There is a part of me that's sitting there and thinking, like, wait, in terms of packages, Man United could offer the best package. Now, whether Rice accepts Man United's terms and joins Man United is a completely different situation, which that's where I feel like Man United would fail. But in terms of a package, 2 players that they want in McTominay and Rice. McTominay and Maguire.
Yeah.
What's 70 to 75 million? As West Ham, I'm taking that. Because you're getting 2 players for areas that you really want to improve, 2 players that you want anyway, plus 75 million, which is just 15 million shy of your asking price. So technically, you could say, oh, Man United have overplayed and overbid for Rice. But in this situation, we have to do that. But with the 2 players we're offering, we want their wages off the books. They're proven not to be good enough for Manchester United and the plans we have to go and move forward. That package, I think, out of the 3, would be for West Ham would be the juiciest one.
I think where you could be very right. It depends how high up Maguire and or McTominay are on their wish list. So if they're going to take some of that 90 million, the guaranteed fee, and try and buy those 2 players, it may make a lot more sense on the accounts to have them involved in the deals, if that makes sense. Or you have a kind of written agreement that they'll take 50, 60 million for Rice, but we'll sell them those players at a discounted rate, and it balances itself out in the same way. Swap deals are quite difficult to do. The only problem we have, I think McTominay's got a deep love for Man United, being an academy player. I think he would do it personally. I think Maguire would be the problem in this because there's no way he's going to get the same wages. I think he would dig his heels in a little bit, but we'll see. We'll see. But look, with Man United, as you say, I wish we were the front runners. I wish we were in Arsenal's position. I wish we were in a better area. But I'm loving. We tweeted out the news. It's like United fans are desperate. I can't believe they believe this. And it's not about believing it. Like Claret and there's a super chat that came in here, made me laugh. That said, not super chat, a comment that said, where is it here? Terry, United coming in as a lie, and the British is the trying to hype Rice transfer up. Look, Claret and Hugh are West Ham fans that are very well connected at the club and have a lot of inside information. They're not the British media. They're not trying to hype the deal up. They're just telling you what they know. And they're not the only ones that spoke about United getting involved. Man United have been looking at Declan Rice for 2 or 3 years now. And I think we're right to bid, because if you don't, you're 100% not getting him. If you don't bid, what's the expression? If you don't ask, you don't get. I saw a video the other day of this American rapper. I don't know who the hell he is. And he was walking through this mall, and some guy on his phone recording it said, "Would you pay my college fees?" And the guy stops. And it turned out this guy did a live stream about a week earlier saying, if anyone ever wants anything from me, you ever see me out and about, ask, maybe you'll get it. And then this rapper turned around and did and paid for his 3 to 4 years he was at college, paid for it all for him. And it's like, and I was like, cool. But you don't ask, you don't get. If we don't put the bid in, I can guarantee you 100% we don't get him. because we haven't put the
Mhm.
bid in. But oh, is that who it is? Okay, cool, sweet. There we go. Yeah, I wasn't.
A little easy.
Yeah, I weren't. Maybe that's it. Yeah, I weren't sure who it was. But the point is, if you don't ask, you don't get. Arsenal are the front runners, closely followed by Man City. United are the outsiders in this chance. However, who knows in the next couple of days what's going on at the clubs, what's going on with Man United? It can change. I'd rather us be in it and have a chance than not in it at all. That's my personal
Yeah,
thoughts on it,
and you got to remember as well, it's about the club right now. It's about the club accepting the bid. No bids have been accepted. So if they only accept Manchester United's bid, where do we go from here? Does Rice say no, and he's just going to stay at West Ham until he gets his Arsenal or Man City move? Or why? Or Rice do a Mudryk where it's like, well, this team has got the bid accepted quicker. They've offered me better terms than the other teams. I'm just gonna go. And again, people in the comments, I do not believe that we will get Declan Rice. This ain't a KJ statement of saying we're going to get him. We're not going to get him. He will go to Arsenal and if not Man City. But there is a 2% chance that he could sign. 2% chance.
Mate,
and if we got 2%,
yeah.
that's still better than 0.
No, I hear stop the bias agenda. See, it's not about a bias agenda. It's just making an argument, and that's all it is. KJ's literally saying 2% chance that this could be the reason why. And as you say, it's about getting a bid accepted from West Ham right now. And if we're the only one who gets a bid accepted, we will get Declan Rice because the player is going to leave West Ham. Mo, what's your take on this tonight? On the Man City bid? United now looking like they might get involved. What are you saying?
So Arsenal fans told us that only look at who bid. It's only us bidding. And we told them there is no smoke without fire. So here we go. Here's the bid is there. I still think, personal opinion, that he will go to Arsenal. I think Arsenal will actually match City's bid. And it's going to be down to installments, but also the players will. Because if we believe the reports, he wanted Arsenal and he still wants Arsenal. But for me personally, I still think that his best options, and I said that on the top 6 show earlier, at the current moment, Man United just need one player to add to that midfield, and Man City as well, since Gundogan has left. But Arsenal need 2, assuming that Xhaka and Partey leaves. So who's going to be added to Declan Rice? In my opinion, what Arsenal did is too late. It might be too late. And I said it this morning. People didn't believe me when I said it. I said that because Arsenal did all the work for Man City, were keep bidding, low balling, which is what they should have done, right? They both started at square one yesterday because now Man City know what exactly and what to bid. They did the work for them. And now Man City look at their bid. It's better than Arsenal already.
Yo, I've got a question. Because I know Arsenal fans and Man City fans to an extent, but Arsenal fans praise the fact that they don't get into bidding wars. You saw it, we've seen it with Mudryk, that is actually really good bidding against Mudryk because we don't get dragged into bidding wars and we operate via the process, via the plan, and we stick to it and look where it's got us. If they do the same again and are not willing to get into a bidding war and lose out on another target, how does that make you guys feel? Like, what do you guys want from your club? Do you want them to divert from their usual plan, or do you want them to stick to their guns and be like, yo, actually no, we won't get drawn into a bidding war? Now Man City is the same, so this is where it's going to get interesting. Both clubs are renowned for not getting to bidding wars. So what happens? It's like,
I believe, KJ, that Man City will never bid for a player not knowing that he has even 5 to 10% or 20% intention that he might go to Man City. If they spoke to the guy and he said, no, I'm not going to your club, why would you go and bid for the guy? I'm sure someone spoke to Declan Rice and he showed a little bit of intent. That's why they waited that long. They're not idiots. And I wouldn't take Man City management as stupid. I'm not doing that.
No, I totally agree. And it's seldom that a club bids for a player where there is no desire from that player to join. It's why I don't care. This is where I listen to what journalists say and take it seriously. But when you learn via those journalists, how I've seen journalists say things 100 times. Clubs don't bid without terms being agreed 100 times. And then Man United bid for De Jong and they go, yeah, but terms ain't agreed though. Yeah, but you say that's the order it always goes in. Yeah, but not this time. You got to explain why this time, but they didn't go into detail, which was just never got it right. This is another one of those scenarios. There's no way Declan Rice has told Man City no and they're bidding, because why would you waste your time? They would go on to another target. However, though, this is the problem with this isn't the football terrace community. My community is very good here, generally speaking, barring a few trolls. That preference doesn't mean he's rejected Man City outright. And I spoke about that on the show I did Saturday. In the title, we had City rejected with an X, with a big question mark next to it, saying, does this mean he's rejected City? And I said in the video, no. It just means he prefers Arsenal. For some people online, that prefers element is he's rejected City, he's guaranteed to come to us. And I'm thinking, you're only going to set yourself up for failure there. Cullen here, long-time member and super chat, says, Rice is a need. We lose out on him, then the club has failed. This is a target we need to get done. Forget the Twitter banter. Need to get it done. Yeah, I agree with you. You certainly need to get it done, my friend. Arsenal fan since 1996 here. I'm less optimistic the longer this deal drags on. Seen it all before. Look at our history of getting our top targets. I hear you. It's even like online. I'm seeing by the way, Lee Gunner is trending right now across the UK on Twitter. The words Lee Gunner is trending. I don't know what he's done, or I don't know what's been said, but Lee Gunner is trending right now on Twitter. And the man's been banned for 2 years and he's trending on Twitter. But yeah, look, there's a lot. Again, I talk about the football gods a lot. I put out the tweet about what Claret and Hugh have said. And the amount of gooners responded saying, yeah, but you're broke. You got no money. Ha, ha, ha. You don't tempt the gods. Because imagine you lose out to him, to us, to broke back Man United over here. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, that's not a good look. It's not a good look for you. Keep the powder dry. Sandro Tonali, half the price. Good luck. It wasn't half the price. He was 70 million. 70 million is not half of 90 million. Yeah, and I'm not too sure what school you went to, but no. Dear West Ham, we gave you back your boy Jack. Save the love is what Guna Dan said. Oh, we gave you our boy Jack. Sorry. Yeah, but we turned one of your best youth projects into one of the best midfielders in the. What have we done for West Ham? We gave you Lingard for them 6 months. We nearly helped you get Champions League football. Give the love back. What else did we do for West Ham? We let them beat us 1-0 the other week.
And De Gea let one in.
We put the
let one in.
West Ham. We put the hair in goal for you. So go on, man. Let us have him. Let us have him. Let us have him. City bidding first is perfect. Arsenal can respond instead of City countering Arsenal's third bid. This will push Arsenal to make a proper third offer. Winter Surfer's joining us as well now on the show. Yeah, I get where you're coming from. What I will say to that, though, is that, but remember, City, this isn't first across the line. This isn't like UK and US politics first across the line. If Arsenal's third bid gets accepted, City can just match it or better it. And if it gets bettered, then your bid gets rejected. That's essentially the way it works. Do you know what I'm saying? Or what they'll do is they'll preliminary accept it. So, okay, yeah, but we've got to wait for everybody else first. So I don't think it will. And by the way, there's going to be no NDA on this. West Ham will be telling. In fact, West Ham will lie. Say you guys offered 105 million and the add-ons were whatever. The add-ons were 2 payments of 50. West Ham will tell City, yeah, it's 105 million. And they're going to give us 65 million up front. They'll lie just to get City to push even harder. Like, that's what happens in these scenarios there. Why would Rice reject them when no deal is agreed? Because some people have a preference not to go to certain places or a desire to never go there, not even preference. So the one that stands out in my head is Bruno Fernandes. Bruno Fernandes told his agent at the end of the summer transfer window when he didn't get his move from Lisbon, I only want Man United. I won't agree to leave to go to Barca or Tottenham or Liverpool. They were all in for him at that time. He says, I want to be a Man United player. So none of those other clubs in the January bid for him because his agent said that he won't agree terms with you. He won't leave Sporting Lisbon. And Sporting Lisbon agreed to not try and push him to where he didn't want to go to. So that's an example as to why. But what you often get in those scenarios, people say, well, why was no other club in for him if he was so good? Well, because he's categorically said that he didn't want to go anywhere else. So that's one example, my friend, as to why. I am tired of this Rice saga. It's not called the Rice saga. It's called the Declan race. That's what we're calling it now. As an Arsenal fan, I don't care anymore. Just get it over the line. Come on, bro. Show some staying power. I've got another 2 months of this to go, of these transfer sagas. Stay with me, my bro. Winter Surface here. What are you saying, brother?
Yeah, I think I agree with Mo. I think he ends up at Arsenal, but I think this changes Arsenal's deal when it comes to payment structure as well. I think they want to do it over a bit more than what Man City are capable of, or maybe you will come in and do with them. I think it also speeds up the process for Arsenal now that they remember over the weekend, Friday, everyone was going, Man City going to put a bid in, and Arsenal fans last night were going, we haven't put a bid in yet, and it's not going to happen. And now they have. So maybe it speeds them up. But it's put a punt card down to Arsenal anyway for them to respond. Whether a bid's been rejected or not, it does show that City are now in this race to begin with. And all this, he wants to stay in London. That's fine. But Manchester's not in Timbuktu. Do you know what I mean? Manchester's only a few hours away. Do you know what I mean? All this I want to stay in London. If City don't like to get in bidding races. They only bid when they've got assurances from a player that he's good to go there. And why wouldn't you go there and be coached by Pep Guardiola or at 24? He's the big pulling power of Man City. He is the massive card City have in terms of being coached by that. Look what he's done for players and changed their game already this season. Look what he's done for Nathan Ake, for John Stones, for example. John Stone. I mean, they want Rice in there so they could put Jones back at centre back this season. So they have to spend that. It's just I just don't understand why people would suddenly go, yeah, well, he's a London lad, he want to stay here. It doesn't make any sense. If Man City come calling and Pep Guardiola's still there, then you go to Man City. Simple as that. But Arsenal have got to respond now. Or else I think.
Can I add something to what you said? Because someone super chatted. You want to do another super chat?
There's some breaking news. Sorry.
Okay.
Sammy McBell from the Daily Mail said Arsenal to formalise third offer for Declan Rice after City finally bid for West Ham captain. Remains to be seen if Man City's 90 million offer is accepted, but it doesn't meet the player's 100 million valuation story with Simon Jones. So it remains, he's basically saying that there's no guarantees that gets accepted either because it hasn't hit the valuation. That for me is a prelude to Arsenal going to bid that. Arsenal are going to hit the 100 million, in my opinion. They're going to hit the 100 million. But yeah, sorry, go on, Mo.
Yeah. I was like, about this bidding thing, people want to say, Arsenal waited for Man City to bid so we can bid higher. I don't think it works like this. Because tomorrow West Ham can accept the bid and the player is gone and you just missed out.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think people just want to look at the mirror and feel comfortable with themselves and with their management. You just call it as it is. Your management dwells so much on it. Yes, you lowball in the beginning, second time, but you go in. Once you hear that the smoke is there and Man City are coming after, you just go and finish it. Get it done. You already had assuming that you're probably got the approval for a player. Just go and finish it. That happened before. Why are people want to just make stories like, we waited for Man City to bid, so we can bid higher? That doesn't work like this.
Why would you wait for a better team to bid?
Exactly. It doesn't work like this.
Why would you go,
But that's
I'm going to wait for the treble winners to bid before I go bid again?
No, listen, guys, I will say, I get where you're coming from. It all depends on what's been said to them. If they're told and guaranteed by the intermediaries and by West Ham that whatever the bid comes in at, West Ham want a bidding war. So West Ham are not just going to accept what City say and move on. They're going to say, right, Arsenal, this is what they've bid. So are you going to better it? Match it? What are you going to do? West Ham are not going to speed that process up because they want a bidding war, don't they? And there's Graham Bailey has reported and stated that this bid from City will probably be rejected. They want 100 million. That goes into KJ's point. Now, this is where Man United have their outside chance. If we can come up with an offer which monetary wise is better than what the other two are offering, it may get accepted. The player is willing to join all three clubs, in my opinion. I think his preference is Arsenal. So look, I get where you guys are coming from, but I don't just think this will be a case of, right, you've hit the marker of it being accepted and it's just done. No one else can bid again. West Ham will sit down, boys, and say, right, United, Arsenal, that's been accepted. Can you offer it? Or we will accept it. Can you offer us a better deal? Does that make sense? If it gets accepted tomorrow morning and Arsenal walk away, that's what that means without it being said publicly is Arsenal were told what the bid was and said we won't or can't match it and they've walked away. Do you get where I'm coming from? And then you know why they didn't go any further because they already got to their upper limit. That's what I think it will be. But it'll be an intriguing one. Ninos here. Says I'm pretty sure. Pretty sure this is the reason the third bid didn't go in. If we wait for City to bid to go through and it gets accepted, then we can match it and give Rice the choice. Is what Ninos says here.
But then you have to. But now you have to go above that City bid anyway. So it is. I think it's just horses for courses. Like trying to figure out why your club hasn't done X, Y, and Z in the transfer saga is a bit long. To be fair, just wait until the result comes out and then you can start doing that. Like Arsenal fans, they love doing trigonometry when it's 1 + 1 = 2. Like just wait for 2 moments. Let's see if your bid gets accepted. And then, guys, you can start making your theories about why things happen. You know, like everyone just relax for 2 seconds, please.
I love it. I love it. This here says Arsenal will get Rice or Caicedo this summer. Simples. They very well could. Why did Lee Gunner get banned? He used a word he shouldn't use to have a pop at somebody. He called somebody a horrible word for being disabled, stupidly, really, and he got himself banned. I mean, he's not exactly Alex Jones. He probably could have just set up a brand new Twitter account and Twitter wouldn't have done anything. And the maddest bit is, Elon Musk would probably let him have it back now because Elon Musk is all for the free speech stuff. So he probably wouldn't get banned under Elon Musk. But yeah, he stays away from it, to be fair. But yeah, he said something stupid at the time and got himself banned. City bid after 2 bids from Arsenal. What's your point? So City have done this perfectly, but by suddenly bidding, Rice's preference for Arsenal is key, is what Anthony says here. What's there's another a thing from Jacob Steinbeck's headline here reads, Man City bid to beat Arsenal to the signing of Declan Rice. Arsenal expected to launch a third bid. It will need to be at least 100 million at this stage, which tells you that City's bid is going to be rejected unless Arsenal don't make another bid. So as much as they can turn around and say, and that's what I'm saying, boys, that's why it's fine for Arsenal to wait, because City are not going to reject this bid until they know whether Arsenal and or Man United are going to bid. Because imagine you reject it and then you have to phone City and go, oh, sorry that we rejected it, but we would like to accept it again now. Like they're not going to do it. They're going to hold back. That's what I think anyway.
But Rice's preference for Arsenal is only if Arsenal can reach an agreement with West Ham. That's the only preference.
That's very true. That's very true. If they all get accepted, then it becomes very interesting. Then it's honestly, then it's going to be like Love Island. You know what I mean? When you got 3 of, I've only watched the show once about 7-8 years ago. But do you get scenarios on there? I know they're all paired up. But do you get scenarios where there's 2 or 3 guys sniffing around one lady? Does that happen? And then she basically goes, "I'm going to partner with this one." That's what's going to be. It's going to be Love Island in the Declan race. Arsenal will now match City's offer, bidding over. That's then it's the player's choice. I'm sure he chooses Arsenal. Yeah, but Peter, what if I told you this? What if you bid 10 million more, and City then walked away? Then you haven't got to worry about the choice. I look at it like this: it's like in boxing or MMA or any kind of fighting. Don't leave it down to the judges. Knock your opponent out, because you never ever know. This here says it's a different case now, KJ. What guarantees that West Ham accept any Arsenal offer knowing City are in this race?
One of them has to walk away. This is the thing. One of them has to bid higher, and the other team says, no, I am not matching the offer. I'm not bidding higher. This is the chase.
Craig David, from the troubles in my life. Mo, you've been irrational. Don't move the goalpost, Mo. You're irrational, Mo.
I'm very irrational. Yes.
Do you know how I just realized you look a little bit like?
Go ahead. Say.
You remind me a little bit of it. Is it Patrick Bet-Davis from Valley Famous?
I actually don't know who that is.
Yeah, you look.
I'm gonna look it up.
He's an excellent podcaster. That's what he is.
No, yeah, he is. You look a bit like yeah, you do. You know.
Good then. Is he good looking like me?
Not a bad looking guy. He's not a bad looking guy.
He's not a bad looking guy. Okay.
Yeah,
you do look a little bit like Patrick Davis. You do. You got a little. If you like.
Patrick Bad Day. I said this guy before.
Yeah, you do look a bit like him. Maybe it's just me.
No, he
maybe
looks a bit like Mo. That's the difference. It's a bit like Mo.
Can we clear something up? Man City, until they had the Champions League final, most of their players were out on vacation. They just made Gundogan just made a decision about like 5-6 days ago. Is that so? Until Gundogan made a decision, they couldn't go for Rice without knowing if Gundogan is going to leave or not. Because as is reported last week, they were still offering Gundogan a contract. So he made the decision last week.
Yeah.
So, and we heard about Man City interest in Declan Rice just last week. But Arsenal has been in this guy forever. So just Man City started moving after Arsenal put in their bids. So I'm not moving the goalpost here. Man City didn't wait for Arsenal. Man City weren't interested in Declan Rice, as far as we know. You're not telling me that you were in the back room of Man City, knowing that they're interested and waiting for Arsenal. All we know is that you started at the same box today, where both of you now have to bid because you already made 2 bids. That's it.
You have to bid more as well.
Exactly.
Jeez, 100 million, 100 mil, baby. Keep up the good work, Terry. Thank you. I think City should try for De Jong. Shh, don't mention that.
Don't tell people. Bro.
If it's true that Barca are looking to sell, honestly, I like Rice a lot. I like him a lot, but I'd walk away tomorrow for a little bit of De Jong, bro. Little bit of Frankie.
Think De Jong's your new Snyder?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like every
we're
signing
signing Schneider every
Who's the
season.
other one? Is it Gaitan? Gaitan? We were linked to that one last. Him and Wesley Sneijder. But maybe. I think because of Barca's financial troubles, them links if Barca were like financially sound, they wouldn't be happening. It's because they might need to sell somebody, but we shall
That was like
see.
last year when we said, how are they going to do this? And then they did everything. I don't want to ever predict what Barcelona are going to do in the transfer market.
I hear you.
Not doing it anymore.
This year says need another lockdown so he can't leave London. Jesus Christ, Dan, it's a bit dramatic, but I hear you. I do hear you. Listen, people, I want to thank all of you for coming on tonight, the viewers, the callers, the super chatters, my members, and everybody else. Please hit the like button before you go. Back tomorrow morning with some more content for you. Lee Gunner and I will be on your airways at 3:30 in the afternoon. That will be surely an explosive show, especially as he's trending right now. I did see White Yardy quote tweet him earlier, calling him a so that might have something to do with it, but I'll take a little look at that a bit later. KJ, Mo, and Andrew, thank you to Brandon that called in with his little baby Brody as well, Alan that phoned in, Steve that phoned in, and of course Patty, the City fan as well. Until next time, take care, goodbye, God bless, and we'll see you all again soon. Peace.